Hey everyone, my name is Danos. We're playing Open Front. We're playing on the map Known World. It's a brand new map. There's a big new update with this game, so I was super excited to try this out. And I'm going to try and spawn away from everybody, away from the noise. What I've seen in games past, so I have played a few games before this one from the new update, and games past, the same thing seems to repeat itself. Someone in the north and someone in the south completely dominate it, and then they meet in the middle and they sandwich everybody else. So I want to be bread of the sandwich. That's I'll just rename my channel to that, to bread. I'm gonna fast forward some of this intro a little bit here. Basically, I'm just going into bots. There is one human player to my west there, NG High. So I gotta kind of be careful with him, but I feel good. He actually starts going into me, which is a little annoying, but I hit him back immediately. And so, I'm hoping that just kind of discourages him. I don't want him to start getting confident and attacking me regularly or anything. And I kind of make a weird, for me anyways, decision, and that's to build a defense post, on that border. Normally, what I prefer to do is build a city, as early as I can in the game, so I can get my troop count up, the cap. And but no, I just felt the need to defend myself. Either way, I've got all these bots I can go into. I feel like I can make money pretty fast. And yeah, right now this is really promising, honestly. I'm number 2 in the game. This bread strategy is working great. Aigle, that's, I guess, it sounds like, in English it's aigle, but I guess in French it would be aigle. He just annexed a bunch of territory there, but I think I can get it back pretty easily. He's that red player. And yeah, so I've got 3 cities so far. This is solid. NG High is still hanging on by a thread there, where I'm clicking right now, so I'll just kind of, take the rest of his land. And I'm reserving all these spots to my east. Once there are no more bots, I can go into to my west. So, because basically other players don't have access to these bots that I have kind of surrounded here. Something else that I noticed to get a really good start to the game, if you can annex bots, that's huge, because it just takes so much time, especially if you're in the mountains or something, to take bots' territory. Meanwhile, you're going low on troops, so you're gaining troops slower. So that's something I've really noticed in this new update. If you can annex at even one bot off the start, that's normally a really good thing for you. And you can see I was able to annex 2, right there. So now I'm just going to go into Julian. Atri looks like a pretty big threat right now. And you know what? Something I didn't even notice when I was playing this game, being Empire, the orange player, he's at 1,000 troops, which is nothing. And I didn't even see it happen. But I got to deal with these other guys like Egg, the red player. He's got so many troops and stuff like that. So as good of a start as I had, Atri just has this amazing opportunity, and of course he takes it, which makes him number 1 in the game. I'm not that far behind. What I'm gonna do now is focus on building some cities, as you just saw. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into Atri immediately before he starts to snowball, because I've seen this at this point just many times where a big player just keeps getting bigger. If you've played this game, you've seen it too. Sometimes there's nothing that can stop them. Here's the thing. Atri is at a huge disadvantage when I attack him, and I can't even tell if he knows that I'm attacking him, because it's not like I'm taking vast swaths of his land in one shot, but I need to weaken him a bit. His big disadvantage right now is he's got borders of six-ish people, and I've got borders with 2, the red player and Atri. So if I start picking a fight with Atri, it's really to his detriment. Like, yeah, of course it is to mine too, but it really is to his, because he could be attacked by all these other guys, and I only have to deal with 2, and one of the 2 players that I'm bordered with doesn't actually have that many troops. That's the red guy. So I do grab back the crown for a second there. Atri gets it back, all good. This small player wants an alliance. That's cool. I grab it. And now I'm kind of looking at what I can do next. Gonna keep building cities. I'm seeing Atri, he's not really moving, so I guess he's kind of just building troops back up. I'm nervous because I have great positioning, but I could very easily mess this whole thing up. So yeah, now I saw him push me. I'm just gonna push him right back. I really want to hang on to this big chunk of territory I was able to take from him. And right now, like, you can see, like, nothing's moving, but I'm just waiting for something to happen. My cursor is hovering over Atri, waiting for him to attack me, and I just want to be ready to counter, essentially. Now, what I do here is I'm going to boat into this territory so I can annex it. So, once you completely surround someone's territory, that's basically what annexing is. And that disappears, and right after that, see, now I go for the alliance. And it gives me the crown back. I'm going to send these battleships this way. You can do that by clicking on your battleship and then, clicking on open sea, and they'll go there. I don't know how far they can go, but that's just that's just what I know. Because I'm not going to push Atri for the moment. Like, we do have an alliance. And honestly, he's not pushing other players that badly. So, it's possible I'll be able to deal with him without having to constantly be attacking. What I'm going to do now, which is just a pretty sensible, I think, or like normal strategy, just going into a smaller player to grab more land before I deal with a bigger player like Atri. And listen, like, I know we have an alliance, but that alliance, the alliance I have with Atri is born out of him, I think, being sick of me attacking him. So I don't know. To me, it just doesn't feel like that strong. Like, it's not like we were both, I don't know, like small bots and right off the bat and got an alliance without knowing how dangerous the other one was going to be or whatever. Like, this is it just feels like a very practical alliance. It just, yeah, I don't I don't feel like Atri is a friend. Let's just say that. Especially because he's just like so like menacing, right? He's just such a threat. But now, luckily, I'm able to push Lord Borden more, or maybe I butchered his name there, but that gets done. I'm gonna build troops back, speed up the game just for a second here. I'm looking for my next opportunity. Make Europe great. He extends an alliance request. I'm gonna need that because Atri, I just don't feel like that alliance actually means that much, and I want to try maybe to go into Grund Positive Bismus, the green player, and Grappling, the other yellow player to the west there. I think I can try and grab his territory. So if I can focus on them and I don't have to worry about Make Europe Great, that's just awesome. And yeah, now I'm just watching the map, seeing what's going to happen next, and as I focus towards that alliance request, I immediately zoom back out because I'm just ready for something to happen right now. Yes, I have a lot of troops, but someone could launch a bomb. I might have to like prepare myself, and then Atri goes into Grand Positivismus. Done. And I think I do get very lucky with the annexation there. I think what happened is my attack was just so massive. And also it surpassed Atri's, and I think that's the reason I got all that land. So this is looking really good right now. You can see I'm getting some trade from like the little red player on an island to the north of my territory. I'm not going to touch him. I'm trying to make my way into the other yellow player right now. Grapplings, or I don't know. That's just how I'm choosing to say his name. I am going to send a hydrogen bomb Atri's way right now. I'm going to boost my troop count. And, you know, this is tricky because I'll tell you guys what's happened to me before. I've been neighbors with two big players. I've hit one with a hydrogen bomb. And I'll go in, not even that hard, into the guy that I hit with a hydrogen bomb. But then the other big neighbor goes into me and, you know, pretty much will wipe me out. You know, and maybe he's just not shy of doing a big attack. So, you know, I think I've learned from my mistake, basically. So I'm going into grapplings. I'm going into the other yellow player. A huge thing that I love with this here, with this move here, is other players might not be able to tell what I'm doing. It's really hard to spot a yellow player taking another yellow player. Like, it's possible to make Europe great isn't even really seeing what's going on here. And I noticed that with, like, you know, like sometimes, like, I was on a game of on South America, and there were like these two big pink players, and it was so hard to tell like who's the actual, you know, bigger threat or whatever. So, you know, if you're blessed with that, you know, just I say take advantage. Now I go into Atri heavy here. I just hit him with an attack he really can't fight back against. And I'll tell you guys, I learned how to manage big attacks through single player. Actually, I did play a little single player for this to kind of prep myself for multiplayer. Because when the update first hit, I went into multiplayer, and it just felt like the game had changed so much. Like, I think one of the big updates, this is just how it feels, but it feels like one of the big updates is building your troops back up feels a lot slower than it used to be. And what single player does is it gives you immediate feedback for, you know, your moves and how they affect, you know, other players. Like, you're not, you know, there's not going to be any lag. Like, you're getting immediate results with the decisions you make. So, you know, if you're having a little trouble on multiplayer, I highly suggest doing single player and just testing things out. And, you know, I also found it kind of helped me train just even the initial part of the game up a little bit. So now, make your upgrade. I am gonna have to go into him. He's just the biggest threat. If he starts taking over anything else, you know, he will. I mean, he's just gonna go after me. Like, that's just yeah, how this game goes. And here's the other thing, like, I'm kind of wanting a win right now. That's my mindset, because I've come out of like a bit of a losing streak, to be honest with you guys. Like, I've just been trying all these strategies with this new update, and I want to win, so I'm not wasting any time. I'm going heavy into number 39 now, and I'm also kind of racing against what always feels like the clock before a Merv hits. I don't actually know how much money the other players have. Like, yeah, you know, you look in the top left-hand corner right now, but, you know, when you're in the game and you're just trying to make things happen and you feel like you can win, this is how it went, everybody. Thanks a lot for watching. This was really fun, and I'll catch you in the next one.